Chosen one, your spirit guide is sending you a powerful message. Chosen ones, you are here for a reason, and I want you to feel that deeply. Let it sink in for a moment. This is not something random. The message you are about to hear, it's not by chance. It has reached you now because it's time. You've arrived at this exact moment in your life because everything you've gone through has led you here. Maybe lately you found yourself questioning your purpose. Maybe there have been days when you felt lost, uncertain about your next steps, unsure about where life is leading you. You might have wondered if you're on the right path, or if there even is a path for you. But I'm here to tell you something important, something sacred. Your spirit guide is speaking to you now. And these words that I'm about to share with you, they are meant for you. They are here to change everything. Take a breath. Feel the stillness inside you. This is your moment. This is your awakening. You were chosen by God, handpicked, selected for something greater than you can even imagine right now. And this message, it's been sent as a guidepost on your journey. A way to help you remember the truth of who you are. To help you awaken to why you're really here. And when I say awaken, I mean truly awaken. Not just mentally, but spiritually. Your soul is stirring now. It's beginning to remember. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this message right now. Because deep down you know there's something more. And I want you to feel the power of these words as they find their way into your heart. Let them settle there. Let them fill you with knowing. This moment right now is a turning point in your life. It's the beginning of your awakening. The one you've been waiting for, whether you knew it or not. And it's not by accident that you're here. You didn't stumble across this message by mistake. You were led here. You were guided here. And you are ready. Right now, if this resonates with you, if your spirit is stirring, if you feel that pull inside, I want you to acknowledge it. I want you to make a declaration to the universe that you are ready. Type 7 and 77 or 1 months below, or 333, whatever number your spirit feels aligned with right now. You're not just typing numbers, you're making a statement. You're letting the universe know you are open. You are ready to receive. You are ready to step into your awakening. And by doing that, you are calling in more guidance, more clarity, more truth. You are stepping into alignment with your divine path. Your readiness creates a ripple. It sends a signal to the spiritual realm that you are listening now, that you are willing, that you are prepared to take the next step on your journey. Take another breath here. Feel the shift. What you're about to hear will illuminate your path. It will guide you toward your next step. You're not here by chance. You're here because your soul is ready, ready to understand why you were chosen, ready to embrace what it really means to be a chosen one. You see, the concept of being chosen isn't just an idea. It's not about ego. It's not about special privileges. It's not about fame or recognition. It's about purpose, deep purpose. It's about stepping into a divine calling that carries the weight and responsibility of something far beyond yourself. It's about knowing that your life is not your own, that it's part of something much larger, something greater. And you were chosen not because of what you have on the outside, not because of your appearance, not because of your status. You were chosen because of the light you carry within. You were chosen by God, handpicked. And the reason may have been hidden from you until now. From the very beginning, before you even realized it, your life was guided. The divine placed you here for a reason. Your path was always different because your calling has always been different. And maybe you didn't understand that before. Maybe you felt isolated. Maybe you felt like an outsider, like you didn't quite fit into the world around you. But now you know why. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to lead. You were meant to awaken others by first awakening yourself. Take a moment. Feel that truth settle in your heart. This journey you're on, it's been happening long before you realized it. Long before this moment. And no, it hasn't been easy. You've faced trials. You've walked through storms. You've questioned yourself. You've doubted. You've wondered if you'd ever find your way. But I'm here to tell you those moments weren't punishments. They weren't setbacks. They were preparation. They were shaping you, refining you, making you stronger. Because when you walk the path of a chosen one, you need strength. You need resilience. You need wisdom. You've walked through the fire. And you didn't just survive, you've been transformed by it. Pause here. Take a deep breath. Feel the power in those words. You are not the same person you once were. Being chosen, it isn't easy, but it comes with blessings. Not the kind of blessings the world chases, but the ones that matter most. The blessings of deep spiritual understanding. The blessing of connection to the divine, to your purpose, to your intuition. You've probably noticed it already. You feel things more deeply than others. You sense things. You see through things. You are connected in ways you can't always explain. That's the blessing, the gift. But gifts come with responsibility. Your gifts are not for you alone. They are here to help others, to guide them, to bring healing, wisdom, and light into a world that desperately needs it. That's why you were chosen. That's why you're awakening now. The world is crying out for light, and you are the one carrying it. But I need you to understand your awakening isn't a one-time event. It's a process, a continuous unfolding of who you are. It's a journey of shedding the old layers, letting go of the limitations you once believed about yourself, and stepping fully into the person you were always meant to be. Your spirit guide has been waiting for this, waiting for you to reach this point. And now the messages are coming through more clearly. Can you feel them? Can you sense them? Sometimes they're quiet, a whisper, a nudge, a sense of knowing. Other times they're louder, but they're always there, calling you forward, calling you higher. And as you open yourself, as you trust the process, those messages will get clearer. You will know which way to go. You will know when to speak and when to stay silent. You will know who to trust and who to release. You will be guided step by step toward the fullness of your purpose. Take another breath here, slow, steady. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of your awakening, the beginning of you remembering who you are and why you are here. You were chosen for this. And as you continue to embrace your awakening, your connection with your spirit guide will deepen. You will come to understand that nothing in your life was wasted. Not a single moment, not a single tear, not a single struggle. It was all part of the preparation, part of your transformation, part of your becoming. You are not who you once were, and soon the world will see who you've become. But for now, be here, be present in this moment. Feel the truth of this message. Let it take root in your heart. You are chosen, and this is your time. You've carried so much, haven't you? So many burdens that others couldn't see, quietly, in silence. So much weight on your shoulders, and yet you've kept going, and now something inside you is steering, something ancient, something true. It's not new, it's something you've carried with you since before you were born. You just forgot for a little while. You forgot who you were, but that's okay. We all do, until it's time to remember, and now it's time to remember. The world has tried to tell you otherwise, tried to convince you that you're small, that you're ordinary, that you're just like everyone else. But you've always known better. You felt it, that quiet knowing, that sense that you were meant for more, that you were meant to rise, even when you didn't know how, even when you doubted yourself, even when you questioned why life felt heavier for you than for others. It's because you were chosen, not to live an easy life, but a meaningful one, not to follow the crowd, but to lead, not to be accepted by everyone, but to be true to yourself. That's what it means to be chosen. It's a path few understand, but it's yours, and it's time to walk it fully. Take a breath here. Let that settle in your heart. There's a reason you felt the pull toward this message. There's a reason you're still here, listening. It's because your spirit knows it's time. Time to step into who you really are. Time to stop holding back. Time to stop waiting for permission. You've already been given permission by something higher. You've already been called. Now it's time to answer. This journey isn't about waiting for the right conditions. It's not about waiting until you feel completely ready. You won't ever feel 100% ready. That's the truth. And you don't need to. Because readiness isn't a feeling. It's a decision. You decide, you choose. You say, Wes, I'm ready to walk this path. I'm ready to trust the calling inside me. And when you make that decision, everything starts to shift. Can you feel it? Even now, something is shifting. It's subtle, but it's there. The old version of you, the one that doubted, the one that feared, the one that hesitated, it's starting to fade. And what's rising up in its place is something strong, something clear, something unstoppable. This is who you really are. You don't need anyone to validate that for you. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're enough. You don't need anyone to approve of your journey. You've already been approved by the one who called you. The divine has chosen you, and that's all the approval you'll ever need. Take another breath, slowly. Let that truth fill you. It's time to step out of hiding. You've spent enough time playing small. You've spent enough time dimming your light to make others comfortable. No more. The world needs your light. The world needs your voice. The world needs what you came here to give. And whether you believe it yet or not, you have something important to give. You've been through what you've been through for a reason. Nothing was wasted. Every struggle shaped you. Every trial forged you. Every heartbreak taught you compassion. Every dark night taught you how to find your own light. And now it's time to share that light with the world. You might wonder, but how? Where do I start? You start right here. You start by saying yes. You start by trusting yourself. You start by listening. Listening to your intuition. Listening to the signs. Listening to the quiet voice within. It knows the way. It always has. Your spirit guide is always with you. You may not always feel them, but they're there, nudging to you, whispering to you, guiding you. And the more you trust that, the clearer it becomes. The more you listen, the louder it gets. You don't have to force it. You don't have to control it. Just be open, be willing, be present here. Breathe into that space. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know every step before you take the first one. That's not how this works. You take the step, and the next one appears. You move forward, and the path unfolds. Faith leads the way. Trust lights the path. And yes, there will be moments of doubt. There will be days when you question everything. That's okay. That's part of the process. Doubt isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're growing. Because growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. But it's also beautiful. You're being transformed right now. Even as you listen, even as you breathe, even as your heart opens just a little more. And soon you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. You'll see that every moment of struggle, every tear, every prayer, it all led you here. It all prepared you for this. And there's more ahead, more growth, more wisdom, more awakening. But you're ready. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. This is the time to trust yourself more than you ever have. Trust your inner knowing. Trust that gut feeling. Trust the way your heart pulls you in certain directions. Your spirit guide is speaking through those feelings. That's how they guide you. Through your intuition, through the signs around you, through the synchronicities that seem too perfect to be coincidence. Start noticing them. Start paying attention. The numbers you see repeating, the dreams that feel so vivid, the quiet thoughts that come from nowhere but bring peace. These are messages. These are signs. And the more you pay attention, the more they'll show up. You've probably already noticed them. You just weren't sure what they meant. But now you know. You're not imagining it. You're not making it up. It's real. It's guidance. It's truth. And it's here for you. Take a breath. Feel the peace that comes with knowing you're not alone. You've never been alone. Even in your hardest moments. Especially then, you've been guided. You've been held. You've been loved. And now it's time to walk in that love. Time to embody it. Time to let it lead you. You are more powerful than you know. More connected than you've ever realized. And as you continue to awaken, you'll see it more clearly. You'll feel it in everything you do. You'll carry that energy into every room you walk into. And people will feel it. They won't always know what it is, but they'll feel it. That's your light. That's your calling. That's who you are. You are chosen. You are guided. You are ready. The world needs what you carry. Don't keep it hidden anymore. Don't hold back. Say yes. Step forward. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust the calling. Because you were made for this. And this is only the beginning. You have reached a place where there's no turning back. And you know it. Deep inside, you feel it. You've crossed a threshold. One that has changed you forever. And as you stand here, at the edge of this new chapter, there's a quiet knowing that everything is about to be different. Not because the world around you has changed, but because you have. You've outgrown the old ways, the old patterns, the old doubts. You're starting to see that now. The things that once held you back don't have the same hold anymore. You're not the same, and you never will be. Pause for a moment. Let that truth settle in. You've been through so much to get here, and maybe no one knows the full story. Maybe they've seen glimpses of your struggle, but only you know what it took to keep going. Only you know the nights you spent praying for clarity, asking for a sign, hoping for strength. Only you know the times you thought about giving up but didn't. You stayed, you fought, and now you're rising. It hasn't been easy. It was never supposed to be easy, but it's been worth it. Every lesson, every scar, every victory, no matter how small, has brought you to this moment. You're not here by accident. You were led here, guided now. It's time to walk forward with intention. You may feel something unfamiliar happening inside you, a sense of peace that wasn't there before, a quiet strength that's beginning to anchor you in ways you've never experienced. That's because you're finally coming home to yourself. You're remembering who you are, and in that remembering, there's power. You are not broken, you are not lost, you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And everything that has happened, every twist, every turn, it was all part of your preparation. You've been in training, you've been learning, growing, becoming, and know you're stepping into alignment. Take a breath here. Feel that alignment settling in. This isn't just a new season, this is a new you. The version of yourself that you've always been, but kept hidden, is finally emerging. And the more you allow that to happen, the more everything else will begin to align. You'll notice how people show up differently, how opportunities flow to you with more ease, how clarity replaces confusion. Because when you are aligned, the universe responds. You are no longer chasing. You are attracting. You are no longer searching. You are finding. You are no longer wondering if you're enough. You know you are. And this knowing, it changes everything. It changes how you walk into a room. It changes how you speak your truth. It changes how you trust yourself, even when no one else understands. And it changes how you show up in the world. You are here to make an impact, not by force, not by trying to be something you're not, but by being fully who you are. That's your power. That's your gift. And when you own that, when you stop apologizing for who you are, you become unstoppable. Feel that. Breathe that in. You've played small for long enough. You've second-guessed yourself long enough. It's time. Time to rise. Time to own your worth. Time to honor your calling. And yes, some people won't understand. Some people won't be ready for this version of you. That's okay. Let them go. Release them with love. They were part of your journey, but they're not all meant to walk with you into this next chapter. The ones who are meant for you, they'll find you. The ones who see you, they'll stay. And the ones who are ready to rise with you, they'll appear. But none of that matters unless you show up for yourself first. You are your own permission slip. You are your own answer. You are your own guide. And yes, your spirit guides are with you. You are never alone. You never have been. Even when you felt the most isolated, the most disconnected, you were never without support. It was there. You just couldn't always see it. But now you're starting to feel it more. The presence, the signs, the whispers, they've always been there, and they'll always be there, guiding you, protecting you, loving you. You don't have to figure it all out today. You don't have to know every step right now. All you need to do is trust. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Take another breath. Slow and deep. This is your time. Not because someone said so. Not because you're finally ready in some external way, but because you've decided it's time. You've chosen to trust yourself. And that decision, that choice, it opens the door to everything you've been waiting for. You are being called to lead, to shine, to rise. And no, leadership doesn't mean you have to be on a stage. It doesn't mean you have to have a title. Leadership is energy. It's presence. It's how you move through the world. It's how you live your truth unapologetically. And as you do that, you become a light for others. You show them what's possible. Your story, it matters. Your journey, it matters. Your voice, if it matters. The things you've overcome are not just for you. They're for someone else. Someone who is watching you quietly. Someone who needs to know they can make it through too. Someone who's looking for hope. And you are that hope. Not because you're perfect, but because you're real, you're authentic, You've walked through the fire and come out stronger. And now it's time to share your light. Take a moment. Breathe into that truth. You are a lighthouse. You are a guide. You are a reminder that healing is possible, that awakening is possible, that rising is possible. And yes, you are still learning, still growing, but you're far ahead of where you used to be. And that progress, that growth, it's something to celebrate. Honor yourself for how far you've come. Give yourself credit for the battles you fought and won. And then keep going, because there's more awakening, more wisdom, more purpose. You are just getting started. The old life, it's behind you now. The old limitations, they're falling away. The old doubts, they're dissolving. And what's left is truth. Pure, powerful truth. The truth of who you are. The truth of why you're here. The truth of what you're meant to do. You are a chosen one. And you are rising. This is your time. And you are ready. You are rising into the version of yourself that you always knew was there. The part of you that waited patiently, silently, for the right moment to be revealed. And this is that moment. There is no more waiting. There is no more wondering. There is only moving forward now. You've crossed a threshold that you can't uncross. You've stepped into something new, something powerful, something sacred. Take a breath. Let it settle in your chest. Feel it. Feel the energy shifting inside you. You can sense it, can't you? Like the moment before the sun breaks over the horizon. Quiet, still, but undeniable. You are standing at the edge of everything you were meant for, and now it's time to walk toward it. You are ready for this, even if your mind still tries to convince you that you're not. You are ready. Your soul knows. Your spirit knows. And now your heart is remembering who you've always been beneath the noise of the world, beneath the fears, beneath the doubts. You've always been this, powerful, connected, chosen. This path isn't always easy. You know that by now. It wasn't promised to be easy, but it was promised to be worth it. And as you look back at the road you've traveled, you can start to see how every step mattered. Even the ones that felt like missteps, even the ones that felt like detours. They were all leading you here, to this moment, to this moment. And what's ahead of you now is bigger than anything behind you. What's coming is greater than what's already passed. You can trust that. You can believe in that, even when you can't see how it's going to unfold. Because the how isn't your responsibility. The trust is. The faith is. That's your role in all this. You have been chosen to walk this path for a reason. And part of that reason is your light, your ability to see what others can't, your ability to feel what others won't, your ability to hold space for others to awaken simply by being yourself. And know it's time to trust that who you are is enough. Not because you've achieved something, not because you've proven anything, but because you are, because you exist, because you were called. And that calling, it carries a weight, yes, but it also carries power, the kind of power that can only be found in quiet confidence, in the knowing that you are exactly you need to be here right now. Take another breath. Slow, steady. This season you're stepping into isn't about struggle anymore. It's about flow. It's about ease. Not because life stops challenging you, but because you've changed the way you move through it. You've stopped fighting against yourself. You've stopped resisting the journey. You've surrendered. And in that surrender, there's peace. In that peace, there's power. Your spirit guide is walking beside you more closely than ever now, guiding your steps, whispering in your ear, encouraging you when you start to doubt. And all you have to do is listen. Listen to the quiet voice within. Listen to the signs. Listen to the way your heart responds when something feels right or wrong. That's your guide speaking to you. That's the divine flow leading you exactly where you need to be. You've already noticed it. You've seen the signs, the numbers that repeat, the dreams that feel like messages, the people who show up at the perfect moment with exactly what you needed to hear. That's not coincidence. That's guidance. That's alignment. And the more you trust it, the more it happens. You are safe here. You are protected here. Even when things don't make sense yet, especially then, you are being guided toward the life you were always meant to live. A life of purpose, a life of meaning, a life that inspires others to rise alongside you. Because this journey isn't just about you. It's about who you're becoming for the people who need you. For the ones who are watching you quietly, hoping you'll show them that it's possible. And you will. You already are. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be present. You don't need to know every answer. You just need to trust that the answers will come when you need them. Take a moment here. Breathe. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to chase. You are enough right now, as you are. And from this place of enough you rise. You rise because it's time. You rise because the world needs you. You rise because you are done playing small. You are done waiting for the perfect moment. You are done holding yourself back. This is your time, and you are ready. You might still hear the old doubts sometimes. That's okay. Let them speak, then let them go. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to convince yourself of anything. You already know the truth. You are chosen. You are guided. You are protected. And you are stepping into a life that was designed specifically for you. Everything you've been through has equipped you for this. Everything you've learned has prepared you. Even the moments you thought were wasted, they weren't. They were teaching you, growing you, refining you. And now you walk in wisdom. You walk in clarity. You walk in power. You'll notice how different it feels now, how different you feel. The heaviness is lifting. The doubt is fading. The old fears don't control you anymore because you've remembered who you are. And nothing is more powerful than that. You are the one your ancestors prayed for. You are the one your spirit guides have waited for. You are the one who will lead others home simply by being who you are. There's no pressure here, only purpose. And purpose doesn't rush. Purpose flows. Purpose moves when it's time, and for you it's time. Take another breath. Feel the peace that brings. You are not behind. You have not missed your moment. You are exactly where you need to be, and what's meant for you is already finding its way. Your only job now is to stay open, stay willing, stay present. You are co-creating your life with something higher, something divine, and you can trust that process. You can trust that partnership because you were never meant to do this alone. You never have been, and you never will be. You are chosen. You are guided. You are loved. And now you rise. You've come so far. Look at you now. Really take a moment. Breathe that in. Feel the ground beneath you, solid and sure, holding you up just as it always has, even in the moments you doubted it would. You've walked a long road, a sacred one. Not everyone can understand the journey you've taken to get here. But you know, you feel it in your bones. You carry it in your spirit, and you are not the same person who first started walking. You've grown in ways that words can't quite capture. You've stretched, you've broken open, you've mended, and here you are, stronger, wiser, softer in all the ways that matter, sharper where it counts. You've returned to yourself. You've come home, and now you stand at the beginning of something even greater. This is not the end. It's the next beginning, the next opening, the next unfolding. Because for you, chosen one, the journey never really ends. It only deepens, it expands, it evolves. And that's exactly what's happening now. You are expanding. You are stepping into more of yourself, more of your power, more of your purpose. And you don't need to rush. You don't need to race. You can take this slowly, gently, trusting that everything that is meant for you is already on its way, moving toward you even now, closer with every breath you take. Pause here. Feel that. There's a peace that comes with knowing you are in alignment. You felt what it's like to push against life, to struggle and strive and fight. You've done that, and you've learned from it. But now you're learning something different. Now you're learning to move with life, to trust the timing, to surrender to the flow, to listen to the guidance that comes when you're quiet enough to hear it. That's where your power is now. In the stillness, in the listening, in the trust. Your spirit guide walks with you always, closer now than ever. And maybe you're starting to feel their presence more clearly. Maybe you're noticing the signs more often, the repeated numbers, the words that hit you at just the right moment, the synchronicities that make you stop and smile because you know you are being guided. You are being shown the way, and you can trust where it's all leading, even when you don't understand it yet. Especially then, the divine doesn't reveal everything at once. You wouldn't want it to. There's beauty in the becoming. There's magic in the mystery. You get to walk this path one step at a time, and as you do become who you were always meant to be, take a breath, slow, gentle. The time of hiding is over. You know that now. You feel that now. The time of doubting yourself is over. You are ready to be seen, to be heard, to be who you really are unapologetically. No more shrinking. No more silencing your truth to make others comfortable. No more second guessing what you know in your heart to be true. This is your time. You've earned it. You've waited for it. You've worked for it. Even when you didn't realize you were working. Every moment of healing, every step of growth, every time you chose to rise when it would have been easier to stay down. That was the work, and you did it. Now it's time to live from that healed place, that strong place, that knowing place. There's no more pretending you are small, no more pretending you are powerless. You are neither. You never were. You are the one who was chosen, not because you're better than anyone else, but because you are willing, because you said yes somewhere. Somehow you said yes, and that yes changed everything. You are part of something bigger than yourself. You've always been, but now you know it. Now you can feel it. You are here not just for you, but for those who will find light because of you. You are here to awaken others by the way you live, by the way you love, by the way you lead. And leading doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you never stumble. It means you keep going. You keep showing up. You keep choosing love over fear, faith over doubt, light over darkness. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. Take another breath. This isn't just a nice idea. This is your truth, your reality. It's happening now. You are stepping fully into your purpose, fully into your calling, fully into your life. And you are not alone. You are never alone. You have support in ways you can't always see. Spiritual protection, goodness, love, and more is coming. More is unfolding. But for now, be here. Be present. Look at how far you've come. Feel the pride in your chest. Feel the warmth in your heart. This is your life. This is your time. And you are exactly where you need to be. You are chosen, and know you rise. This is not just a moment. It's a movement. You are part of something that is shifting the world, one heart at a time, one light at a time. And you are one of those lights. You are here to remind people what's possible, to remind them of their power, to remind them that hope is not lost, that healing is possible, that love is real, that they matter. And you can do that. You already are, just by being who you are, just by living your truth, just by walking this path. And as you continue, it will only get clearer. It will only get stronger. It will only get better. You are the chosen one, and this is your time. Before you go, take one last deep breath. Hold it for a moment, then let it go slowly, gently. As you do, feel the shift inside you. Feel the alignment. Feel the peace. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and you are ready for everything that's coming next. The world is waiting for you, your light, your love, your truth. And you are ready.